Hi everybody, Reich Polo Tech here. Today I'm doing a video on how to change the hydraulic oil and filter on a zero-turn mower. Now this particular mower is a Bobcat mower, but most brands and models are very similar, and the process is about the same. Guys, if you find this video helpful, please hit that like button for me. Also, hit that subscribe button and check out my other videos. Alright, let's get down to it. So the first thing I want to go over is some of the tools and materials that I'm going to be using to do this hydraulic fluid change. We've got oil pan, floor jack, jack stands, 15W50 synthetic motor oil, filter, safety glasses, gloves, shop rag, adjustable filter wrench, 3/8 socket, and adjustable wrench. Check your manual to see how often you should change your hydraulic fluid and filter. I have a little bit older of a Bobcat Zero Turn, and it says in my manual that every 500 hours of use you should change the hydraulic fluid and filter. It also says in my manual that after 200 hours of use you should check it and top it off if needed. After getting my safety glasses on and my gloves on, now I'm going to jack up the back of the mower and put the jack stands in to get it up high enough off the ground, get these two tires off the ground, and be able to get underneath to the drain plug that's on the bottom of the hydraulic fluid reservoir. Now that the floor jacks are in, let me show you what we're trying to get to here. Underneath the seat here, that's a hydraulic fluid reservoir, and on the bottom of it there's a drain plug that we got to take out, and it's underneath the deck down here. Let me get under here and show you what we're looking at. There it is right there. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the oil pan under there and I'm going to pull that plug out. I don't know if y'all noticed it in that last little video piece, there was a belt that looks like it's on its last leg. It's got a big chunk taken out of the side of the belt or whatever, so I'll be doing a video later on showing how to replace that belt as well. But for now, we're still doing this hydraulic oil change. One thing I suggest is to take a rag and wipe off that drain plug and kind of clean it up a little bit so it doesn't contaminate any of it when you go to screw it back in. So there's no dirt or junk kind of shoved into the hydraulic system. So anyways, I'm going to take that plug out now. But before I take that plug out underneath, I'm going to unscrew this lid to break any vacuum or suction that might be caused inside the reservoir when I take that plug out of the bottom. Holy moly, King Kong must have put that drain plug in there. They did not want me to get that thing out, apparently. So I tried to get it with the adjustable wrench and I just could not get that thing to budge. So I cheated and I used a socket, deep well socket here, 17 millimeter to get around, or all the way around that square plug, and I finally got it cracked loose, and then now I've got it to where I can just finger loosen it out and then drain the oil out. Now I'm going to put on a new glove because when I took this drain plug out here, obviously I got a lot of oil all over my hand and I don't want to get my tools and stuff all dirty with oil, so I'm going to go ahead and replace this glove and put a new glove on. Alright, so as you can see now the hydraulic oil's draining out. I ended up taking the cap all the way off on the top because it was still kind of glugging a little bit on the bottom because it was trying to suck air in from the top there. So I went ahead and took that cap all the way off and it just poured out, streamed out. So it got out a lot quicker when I took the cap all the way off. All right, now that I have the hydraulic fluid reservoir completely drained, now I need to get down in here and take off the hydraulic filter. I'll probably come in from this angle over here with that adjustable filter wrench and my 3/8 socket. I got it turned a tiny bit. All right. Now it's loose enough that I can take it off the rest of the way by hand. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my shop rag, I'm gonna take the plug and I'm gonna wipe it off to make sure there's no dirt or crap or grass or whatever on it, because I don't want to thread that back into my system and get contaminants in my hydraulic oil. And I'm also gonna go over here to the reservoir and wipe off around those threads and the top of the reservoir here. Try to keep it clean before I go and put any of the new oil back in it. Also wipe the cap off here too. Alright, now I'm going to go put that plug back in. What I like to do is take a white paint marker and then write the date on the bottom of it. It's 5/26/19, the day before Memorial Day. I want to take a second to thank all the veterans out there that have served and gave their lives to protect our freedoms and everything. So thank you everybody for that. Now, also take a little bit of the hydraulic oil and put it around this gasket here to make a good seal against when you seal it back on. Now this one says hand tighten it down, hand tight all the way, and then turn it 3/4 of a turn, tighten it down 3/4 of a turn past hand tight. I know on regular oil changes for regular oil, I typically just tighten them down hand tight, but for hydraulic, I actually like to take my wrench on there and actually tighten it down 3/4 of a turn after hand tight, because you got a lot of pressure in the system. All right, then just get here and tighten it down. Make sure you put it on nice and square. We definitely do not want to cross thread this thing, so take your time and just get it on there nice and square and start threading it in nice and slowly at first, and then once you know you're in there, you can speed it up. Alright, that's as tight as I can get it by hand, and I left my tool all the way on the other side of the shop over there. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to take it and I'm going to tighten it down about another 3/4 of a turn to get it nice and tight on there. Alright, the plug's in nice and tight, the filter's on tight, and we're ready to put hydraulic oil into it. Now, I know everybody says this, but consult your manual for the type of oil that the recommended oil. It also is sometimes written on top of the reservoir like this. This one says, this is a Bobcat, and it says mineral base oils 15W40 or 20W50 or synthetic base oil 15W50. I'm using Mower On full synthetic 15W50. I know mine takes somewhere around 3 quarts, but my manual says there's a tube that goes all the way down into the reservoir, and you should fill it up to the bottom of that tube. So I'm going to put in little by little with my funnel and keep checking it until I get to the bottom of that tube, and then I'm going to start purging the lines after that. So right now I'm going to go ahead and fill it up. Alright, so that is now right at the bottom of that tube I was telling you about, and I'm ready to start purging it. Obviously I spilled a little bit on with my funnel here, so I'm going to wipe that off up around here so that dirt and crap doesn't get all stuck to it. I'm going to go ahead and screw the cap on. Once again, don't cross thread it. right, now to purge the air out of the lines and out of the oil filter. While I still have it jacked up off the ground, the tires off the ground, I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to move it forward while it's on idle speed and move it backwards and forward and backwards and forward and backwards until we have a nice solid smooth rotation of the tires. All right, so there you have it. That's how you do a hydraulic oil change. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button for me. Feel free to leave your comments down below. And also hit that subscribe button for me and check out my other videos. I got a lot of videos about this mower right here, including oil change and spark plugs and air filter and everything else. So check it out. Also, share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.